Hey, it's Robin, and I've been reading this book, well, listening to on audio because I find that easier. I can do stuff around the house while I'm listening. It's great. This book called The 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and I highly recommend it. I've had so many kind of aha moments that I just wanted to share with you. And one of them, that I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you're under stress, like maybe you've got a ton of stuff to do, and May seems to be a really big time for stress for a lot of people. So maybe you've just got so many things on your plate. There's so much going on that you're freaking out and you're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get it done. And then all of a sudden you realize that you have been scrolling on social media for half an hour, or you've been playing like some stupid game on your phone, or you just like binge watched 3 hours on Netflix, or you watched like funny cat videos for an hour on YouTube, and you've just wasted a bunch of time. And you don't understand it because you're so busy, you have so much to do that why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. And you start beating yourself up about it, and you start saying how you're just so bad at time management, or you're not capable of being productive or whatever. And this book that I read really kind of gives a really good explanation of why we do it. And you can be stressed for any reason. It doesn't have to be that you have too much to do. It might be that your finances are a mess, or you've just had some really big expenses and financially you're stressed, or you've just had a new baby and you're not sleeping and you're totally stressed. It could be anything that's causing you stress. Maybe you have a big, huge project due at work, or you're up for a promotion and you're really stressed about whether or not you're going to get it. It can be, seriously, it can be anything. There's so many things that can cause you stress. So if you are feeling stressed and you find yourself wasting time, well, you're probably wondering why the heck you're doing that, because it's not affecting the thing that's causing you stress, right? And that would be ideal, right? To deal with the thing that's causing you stress and bring your stress level down. Well, your brain is kind of smart. So maybe it's not smart. I don't know. It often looks for the easy way out. So it knows you're stressed, and maybe the solution isn't super easy. Like that's often the case with financial stresses, right? It's not like you can do something in 5 minutes and it's going to change your situation. It's a pretty big shift. Or maybe you have like so many things to do that your brain is like, well, we're never going to get all that done, and so I need to reduce this stress, and so we're going to do something that's totally mindless. And in those, few minutes that you're playing the game or watching the show or watching the YouTube video or whatever it is you're doing, that is a temporary stress relief. So your brain is doing kind of what it's meant to do. It's reducing the stress that you're experiencing. And but it's temporary, right? And how do you feel after you're done, right? You feel more stressed usually because you're like, oh great, I had 15 things to do today, now I just wasted 2 hours, right? Like it doesn't make you feel better in the long run. I don't know anybody who's like, oh yeah, I feel awesome about wasting that time, right? Like if you're feeling that way, you're not going to be watching this video, I'm sure. So for the most part, we feel worse. So, but you feel like you almost can't control it, right? Like you just have this compulsion to do it, and it's kind of feels like it's out of your control, and it kind of is. Your brain is kind of taking over. It's looking for that short-term temporary relief, and it's getting it. And so it wants to keep getting it, and so it wants to keep doing it. So you need to break that cycle. And so what she recommends in the book, and what I've been doing this actually for a while, is kind of thinking in the morning, don't go on your phone in the morning, don't go on social media, don't check out your Facebook or your email, because you're going to get totally lost, and it's probably going to increase your stress. You might, if you're getting a bunch of emails you have to take action on, then you're going to be like, oh, I already have so much to do, and so you're never going to focus on what you need to do that day. So I challenge you to, while you're getting ready in the morning or whatever it is when you do first thing, maybe it's your workout, during that time, think about just a couple things, 2 things. Let's start with 2 things, just 2 small things that you could do that would work towards your goals. Like say if you have financial stress, maybe you need to just look at a month, and maybe that's even too big a goal. Maybe you just need to look at where your money went in the last week or the last 3 days or whatever. If you if it's a project at work, think about what one thing is going to be most important to get done, right? Like maybe you're having some issues with your kids at school. Maybe you just need to call the teacher. Calling the teacher is going to be your one thing you're going to do. So think of 2 things that you can do that are going to make a difference. It's not going to solve the problem necessarily, because usually these are bigger stressors than you can do in a few minutes. But some small thing that you can do towards that. And then you're going to do it. And yeah, easier said than done, right? That's where this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method comes in. So this book is called the 5-second rule, and that's why. And the reason that this works is it takes you out of the emotional side of things, and it moves you into the prefrontal cortex, and it just like spurs you into action. So all you do is think of like a rocket taking off. So you're going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to take that action, whatever one of those things is that you decided in the morning was going to be important. So just do it. And and then, because this stuff doesn't happen overnight, so then maybe you reward yourself and you get to do some of those little stress relief things that you do. Maybe you play a game, or maybe you watch a YouTube video, a funny cat video, right? And then you do it again. You count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you do the second thing that you decided. So just imagine how you're going to feel at the end of the day after you complete a couple of things that are going to move you, towards reducing your stress or towards where you want to be. And you're probably going to feel great. So really focus on that feeling after you complete, even one item, and then you're going to use that feeling to continue the next day, right? You're going to be like, okay, so I can either play this game, and after the game, I'm going to feel like crap because I just wasted however much time, or I can do that one thing that I was thinking about this morning that would move me towards my goal, and then I'm going to feel really good, and I'm going to feel really productive and really accomplished, even though it's a really small thing. So that's going to keep you going. So I'm not going to say this is super easy. It's not like, instant. We all have habits that we've built up, and it takes some effort and some time to change them. But I am saying that it's going to be worth it. So I hope this was helpful. And if you give it a try, I'd love to hear from you about how it works. So if you want to comment, I would love that. Okay, so I hope you have an amazing day.